We start tonight at 6 o'clock with new information about that investigation into the Kinderare Daycare Center on the west side in Plainfield.
That center tonight is now on probation after the violations we told you about last week. Our Ella Rhodes talked to the employee who reported those violations and learned what the state now plans to do to keep kids safe.
On August 19th, the Indiana Family and Social Services Administration told this Kinderare its center is on a 3-month probation for the violations it found earlier this month: negligence, abuse, and the director failing to report the behavior. FSSA Deputy Chief of Staff Marcus Barlow says they'll now do scheduled and drop-in inspections at the center.
They'll be under heightened scrutiny. We'll really be looking into their operations and their plans moving forward to make sure that they correct those violations.
He says Kinderare can still care for children during probation. And while violations are common in most child care facilities,
being under probation is not common, but it doesn't mean that it rose to the level of us immediately pulling their license. Every single time someone's put on probation, that means we're very concerned.
After 13 News first reported the violations, the teacher who officially told the state what was happening came to us to share their story. They asked to stay anonymous due to the severity of the situation. The teacher told us they first reported the abuse to the director.
It was sad. I cried a lot. It was like, it just didn't seem like it concerned her really. I mean, I just feel like she kind of just shrugged all of her stuff off.
That's why they chose to go to FSSA. They say they immediately contacted the parents too.
They were really appreciative of us just because no one has gone to them about anything, even after the whole situation.
Kinderare told 13 News the 2 employees allegedly involved no longer work there. But this teacher says she's seen staff consistently misbehave.
I just feel like no one really gets in trouble. It's just like a slap on the wrist and they just go about their day because they don't want to hinder Kinderare's name.
We did reach out to Plainfield PD and DCS, but they could not share whether they're investigating the violations too. Ella Rhodes, 13 News.
FSSA says Kinderare has until November 19th to make the appropriate changes. Then it will decide whether or not to pull Kinderare's license. Angela?
Scott, cloudy and much cooler today. You can see the clouds from Hamilton County, Carmel and Noblesville into Marion County at the Golf Club of Indianapolis and into Montgomery County in Crawfordsville at this hour. Temperatures for most of us only in the 70s. Most of us didn't make it out of the 70s. 75 in Indianapolis, Greencastle, Lafayette, 76 Bloomington, and 77 right now in Bedford and Columbus. Temperatures running about 10 degrees cooler from this time yesterday. Those dew point temperatures are lower as well. That's the reason it feels so comfortable out there. We'll stick with a mainly cloudy sky over the next couple of hours. Some clearing. When you join us at 11, temperatures already dropping into the 60s.
All right, Angela, thanks so much. Just a couple more votes could stand between Franklin Township residents and a massive data center project in their community.
13 News was one of the first to tell you that Google is the company wanting to stake their ground on the far east side of Indianapolis. Alex Almanza was at today's meeting of the Metropolitan Development Commission, and that's where this project secured a landslide vote.
This petition has been approved.
Quiet, please. Quiet, please. Last warning. Quiet, please.
Tense moments during an MDC meeting as a proposed 468-acre data center got the green light from commissioners.
If you did it wrong from the beginning, start over and give us the turn. Unbelievable.
Behind the rezoning proposal, Deep Meadow Ventures, which through planning documents obtained by 13 News, showed tech giant Google as the developer. On Wednesday, attorneys for the project and its opponents faced off.
Approving this variance will set a dangerous precedent for further development in Franklin Township and Marion County. It adds insult to injury for neighbors who would already suffer many inconveniences and is too much to ask.
Hundreds of residents publicly opposing the project, all with various concerns like noise and water pollution, lack of job growth, and economic impact, all concerns the petitioner addressed.
Our commitments actually reflect, in the significant majority, those requested by either the Civic League and/or groups of neighbors. And
Counselor, you've hit your time.
We're certainly proud of that. Thank you.
Counselor Michael Paul Hart opposes the project and says he looks forward to meeting with other counselors to address concerns.
They're all going to have individual reasons why they think it's a good or a bad idea. Ultimately, I feel confident, but you do need to get 15 votes on this type of call down.
The proposal goes to the full council in September, where the project petitioner and opposition will convene a separate meeting to try to come up with a resolution. In Indianapolis, Alex Almanza, 13 News.
Tonight, 2 different Indianapolis parents are now charged with neglect after their kids got a hold of a gun.
Both of these cases had tragic endings and were called completely avoidable. 2-year-old Javarius Bickett accidentally shot himself June 19th in a CVS parking lot near 46th and Keystone. That boy died at the hospital. Court documents reveal his mom, Kiera, left a loaded handgun in her unzipped purse.
Then on July 11th, a 2-year-old girl died after showing up at the hospital. Her father, Leonta Anderson, told police that his daughter Harmony accidentally shot herself at the home located on Ralston Avenue. Officers got a search warrant and later found there were several unsecured guns inside that home.
This is a preventable tragedy, but the bigger thing is, people need to understand, not only respect the firearm, but also understand that there are very simple things that you can do to prevent this from occurring.
At last check, neither of those parents has been booked into jail.
A former teacher at Mooresville Christian Academy now is under arrest, accused of multiple child sex crimes. Jacob Wessel is accused of sending a student inappropriate text messages. He was charged with child solicitation and dealing a controlled substance back in May. Then in July, a new charge filed. This was displaying matter harmful to minors, and that stems from a female student saying that Wessel showed her pornographic images when she was just 12 or 13 years old.
Tonight at 6, 3 men are now facing charges after last weekend's crackdown on reckless driving here in Indianapolis. Presley Newkirk, Braden Smith, and Mark Stone all charged with reckless driving and criminal recklessness. Stone is also charged with resisting law enforcement using a vehicle. Over the weekend, IMPD and state police made 8 arrests, issued 11 traffic citations, and recovered 2 stolen cars, all related to spinning.
A pro-Palestinian organization on IU Bloomington's campus now ordered to suspend all activities immediately.
They learned about this in a letter sent by the IU Office of Student Conduct. Our Brandon Schaff tonight looks into why those actions were taken and the group's response.
Here in Bloomington, IU made the decision to limit what the Palestine Solidarity Committee can do right here on its campus. The committee's co-founder, Bryce Green, says that IU is using this as a move to silence their pro-Palestinian organization.
It would be great if students were able to congregate and organize without having the institution actively attack them for it.
In IU's cease and desist, they cited, quote, substantial disruption of university operations and damage to university property, end quote, as part of the allegations against the Palestine Solidarity Committee. We asked both the university and committee about if a specific incident led to the allegations and whether this cease and desist was tied to the pro-Palestinian protests we saw in Dunn Meadow last year. IU told us, quote, the investigation into the Palestine Solidarity Committee remains ongoing, end quote, but did not cite a specific incident. Green says the reason behind the cease and desist was unclear.
It didn't list any specific actions or instances in which university policy was actually violated. So it's impossible to evaluate the claims they're making because they're really not making much of a claim at all.
And as of right now, the investigation into the committee by the university is still ongoing. Reporting here in Bloomington, Brandon Schaff, 13 News.
And we will post the university's letter
along with their full statement with this story. We've got it for you right now over on WTHR.com.
Family reunions nearly a year in the making.
We want you to see the moments when hundreds of National Guardsmen finally got to see their loved ones today. Angela?
Good day, Scott. Cooler air is here, even cooler air in the forecast. I'll have the look ahead.
Honoring Noah Shanovez.
Why his parents say that renaming a post office in honor of their son is a very important gesture.